All right. First thing first, my name is Dale the Gamer, real man, real gamer. So today we're gonna be talking about $70 games that are worth it slash are not, or basically just games that it's up to, at the end of the day up to you to determine what you feel like the price is for, but just determining like or discussing the price of games. So some of the things are gonna break down the different tiers of the choices to make when buying these expensive ass games to me is honestly gameplay, graphics slash frames per second, replayability, huge world, multiplayer, and bugs. So gameplay, if the gameplay is good, it's good. I can respect paying good money for good gameplay. Um, Also, if the graphics and frames per second is pretty good, I can understand that. Replayability. If I can honestly replay a game non-stop, usually it's not really a story game. Replayability usually comes to me like if it's multiplayer or just got like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. That is a huge replayability game for me. Hell, even Pac-Man is a replayable game for me. Um, but yeah, something with a huge world. So if it's not replayable, it's a huge world. So something like Jedi Survivor, great game in my opinion. It got a huge ass world. Also, Fallen Order did as well. Um, I can respect it for doing going that route. You can't really have replayability in those type of games unless you just really a different type of breed and you can play through story campaign or story games nonstop. Me personally, I can't really play through story games more than once unless I'm going for some type of trophy. I guess I'll play it. I know RE kind of do it kind of different with the replayability when playing through the story again. You follow different people, like on RE2 or different choices. But me personally, without that, I don't really see myself replaying like straight up single player games. Multiplayer. So the best way to make me feel like I should pay more money for your game is to add multiplayer. Even though I feel like I'm not really a big multiplayer guy, I only play 3 multiplayer games consistently. And but those 3 games I would definitely say is worth a lot of money to me because the replayability slash is always something new on those games. In case y'all don't know what those games are, it's Modern Warfare Remastered, Rainbow Six Siege, and Dead by Daylight. Those are my top 3 most played games on PlayStation. And the reason why is because the multiplayer is pretty solid in my opinion. And the last thing is the bugs slash glitches. Honestly, me personally, I don't. If you got bugs, I think when you raise the price to $70, that is telling me that this game is a perfect game. And I know it's not a perfect game because I didn't brought $70 games or they didn't crash on me. They didn't have bugs, but it's not really something major or big where I'm complaining about. But you got to see it from the customer side of the thing. It's like kind of shitty to have, but I know for a fact you cannot get rid of every bug or glitch in the game. But something like Returnal, I played that day one. It crashed on me a couple of times, and that when it first came out, you could even save the game, and I kind of understood that, but at least they gave that an option. But yeah, I remember one time I was on a good ass run in that game in the beginning when I finally was getting used to the controls and used to the of the world and how to play the game, and my game crashed. I'm like, bro, I just spent $70 on this. You can't. I know you can't. This can't be possible. um, Same thing with Jedi Survivor. It might be still having some frame drops slash screen tearing. Um, what's crazy is it didn't crash on me until like it sent out another update, and it crashed on me a couple of times after that update, and I was at the end of damn near platinum in the game and finishing it. I didn't really care about that, but like the constant screen tearing and frames dropping is like, yeah, I just spent $70 on this. Y'all telling me you couldn't wait another like 3 months to put this out, and I really had faith that they was gonna release a solid game, and it is a solid game. It is. I personally would give it an 8 out of 10. I think the game is pretty good. If it didn't have those glitches and bugs going on, that game would be a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved every moment of it, but you can't still. I just can't ignore those issues, especially in a $70 game. All right, one of the games that I think there's 2 games that I paid $70 for where I'm like it wasn't worth it, and I'm about to list off some more games, and I'll list those games off after this. But Dying Light 2, I spent 60 for it. definitely not even worth the 60. I mean, I just wasn't feeling Dying Light 2. I thought I would since I enjoyed the first one. I just wasn't really feeling it. I played it like when it first came out. I can't remember. You know what? I think what happened was, I don't know if they added or not, but what happened was, I'm trying to explain this as best as I can, but there are some upgrades you need to do to get 2 trophies. You're supposed to upgrade both of them. And I'm gonna include the pictures of it in this video, but there's 2 things you need to upgrade if I remember this correctly. And the stuff you get to upgrade it, I was upgrading them one by one. So once I upgrade this side, I go to the other side. I was upgrading them equally, right? Well, I did not know in the game they only give you so much to where you can only upgrade one side in the whole game. You can't do both of them at the same time, and you couldn't start a new game plus to carry your stuff over. So if I had to do a new game plus, I think it would have still been kind of fucked up, but at least I would have been okay with it. That game, I literally had to start a whole new game. I'm like, I didn't do it. I'm like, hopefully they include new game plus, but like I was one of the first like 300 people to supposed to be platinum in that game, and it just never happened. It's like some stuff is just missing. Was missing as well. They kind of pissed me off. It was like I was encountering glitches. The multiplayer when it first came out was terrible. There was literally like this quick fix that you can do to get the multiplayer to work, so you can join other people's games or you can join their games. That I had to do. Outright terrible. Not even worth that 60. This might be better right now, but yeah, it was just terrible. I didn't really enjoy it. I thought the story was boring, and the gameplay and the parkour was pretty awesome. Also, something I couldn't put my head around in that game was you didn't have no guns in that game. Like it was only like combat weapons, like bats and axes and stuff. As far as I can say, there was no guns in Dying Light 2. I'm like, one of my favorite things about the first one is we had guns. That's also another reason why I like Dead Island. I mean, they didn't have no guns in the game, which was outright absurd. I'm like, yeah, this game was one of the worst games I done played in a minute that I really thought was gonna be something. But anyway, so let's go with the 2K games. I think any game released yearly, and I understand why they do it. People who buy these games yearly, every year, they already know they're gonna buy these games, so they might well just up the price on to get whatever profit on them, and eventually cut the price after a couple of months. But anything like with the basketball, the FIFAs, the footballs, um, yeah, the Call of Duties, yeah, I just don't see it unless you're gonna play them games, for like a couple of years. You're not gonna buy them yearly. I can see that happening. Like I can understand that, but if you're buying that games yearly, you're getting ripped off. You're getting ripped off, especially if you're buying them day one. If you're buying them a couple of months after they came out, where they're like 30 or $20, I can understand. I'm like, I respect that, but yearly 70 is just. And like the thing with the basketball games, I'm not sure about the Maddens or the FIFAs, but they pretty much probably might be the same. But on the 2K games, after every 2.5 years that game has been out, they will shut the servers off, shut the servers completely down, so you can't play on there no more. And I remember, like, I enjoyed playing 2K16, especially 2K17. 17 was like peak 2K for me, and then I got 18. I just wasn't feeling it at all. The playground, I wasn't feeling it at all, and eventually I just felt out of the 2K thing. Now I did go back and get 2K one with Zayas on the cover when I got my PS5. I think I got the game for like $20 just to have a somewhat current up to date game, basketball game on my PS5. But I only got that just to play like quick play and stuff like that, and play now, or yeah, that's basically all I got it for. Not to go online and like spend my time in the game, but it's no point in even doing that because they're gonna shut the servers down after 2.5 years. So there's no point in playing 2K games online, knowing all my progress is gonna basically be wiped in a couple of years. But yeah, let's go with a game like Redfall. Redfall, I played like an hour of it, probably even less. And Redfall is a game I don't even see how they even thought remotely they should put that at $70. I know you can get it on Game Pass, but there's still a $70 game. That's AAA quality exclusive game you marketed as, and it wasn't that. It was pretty boring. Pretty boring game. I couldn't. I mean, I'm not. Maybe I should go back and try to finish it, but I'm just not obligated to what I play. If you can't, some games I will stick it out on if I got like some attachment or some motivation to finish it. Redfall was something I don't want to finish. I don't see it's just no motivation there to finish. But for what I played, it looked like 5 people made the game, and it looked like it should be priced at no more than $20. Unfortunately, um, so Fast and the Furious Crossroads, that was not 70, that was 60, but something like that. Come on, man, you gotta know that this game is not gonna do good when you like over halfway through development. You gotta realize you're pricing on these games, and I understand him. They put the development time behind it, the hours behind it, but what's the input versus the output is just not matching. Back for Blood, another game where I'm like pretty bad, pretty terrible, pretty lackluster, and pretty boring. Yeah, none of these games should even. All these games I just named should be around $30 at the most. All these games when they come out, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. Another game Dead Space remake. Everything about that game is okay. I wouldn't say it should be $30, but I paid 70 for it. I wish I could. I wish I would have waited because it's just a game I didn't really get into. Maybe I gotta go back and finish that as well. But for the most part, I played like 10 hours of it. It's like, it's kind of a drag right now. Also Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, another game where I spent 70 on, and uh, and the sad part is I really just spent that money on that game just because just to say I got a new game to come out on my PS5 because I got the PS5 day one. If it wasn't for that, I probably would never even got that game. But I had faith in the summer. It was an okay game, but it's just not one of those type of games that hit my demographic of what I'm looking for. So 70 for me, no sir, no sirree, not worth it. So $70 games that are worth it, and like I said, that last list of games that I said wasn't worth it. A lot of them wasn't even priced at 70. They was priced at 60, but some of them were priced at 70. But those games, even if they were, still are not worth 70 at all. But I'm about to list out some games that I believe would be worth the $70 tag, in my opinion. So the first one is Returnal. For everything I enjoyed, I put about 130 hours into that game totally. That includes platinum in it, playing the extra game mode, and playing multiplayer with other people in a story mode. And for the most part, I thought the game was pretty unique as well, and I enjoyed it honestly. And I didn't mind. I think I kind of had an issue spending $70 for it at the beginning, but when I came back a year later and added that free stuff to the game, I was okay with the $70 there. Like I didn't have a problem with it. Jedi Survivor. Um, I did say this game had some glitches, had some bugs, but I don't think this game shouldn't still be worth 70 in my eyes. In my eyes, I'm glad that I spent 70 for it. Even with the few problems that I did have with the screen tearing and the frames dropping, and I think my game crashed about 2 or 3 times. It didn't never take away from the experience because those issues just minuscule. I think I spent about, I don't know, like no more than like 60 hours on the game, and all those issues that I had. Yes, it's a $70 game. It should be having those issues, but and it should have stayed in the oven and let it bake a couple more months. But at the end of the day, I would still let it be okay with back. I'm still okay with paying 70 for it. I enjoyed the game overall. I enjoyed the story, everything about it, and it's just having some minor issues. That's it. Now, God of War Ragnarok. Now, this is crazy because I think on another part of my tiers that I didn't list, if the game is only like on current systems and not last gen, I would say it's 70. But God of War Ragnarok is on last generation hardware as well. And I played the last gen version, the $60 version, and I didn't play the PS5 version. But is that game worth 70? I would say yes, but not 70 to me because I just got the $60 version and I was okay with playing that version. I didn't have no issues playing it. Um Did I eventually get the PS5 version or do the $10 upgrade? I did, but it was through my PlayStation Plus membership where I did a trial for like a couple of hours, and all I had to do was literally just. I didn't know they was gonna let me do it. I was like, are they gonna let me do it or not? And they let me do it. I was able to like to transfer my progress to the trial version and get the platinum. That's all I cared about. But yeah, I didn't really. I played the PS5 version a couple to beat the last Valkyrie Queen or the last Valkyrie fight, and I also did some like testing with the speeds and the loading and just to see where the loading was at. That was about it, but that's all I did on there. Um, I can see how some people say 70. I think God of War. It is work. If it was only PS5 only, I feel like they would have fully took advantage of the PS5 the Dell cycle. I don't think it did. Like what I looked at from the PS4 to PS5 was very minuscule, and I'm like, but I would still give it that $70 price tag. Elden Ring. Now, Elden Ring is a game that also released at 60 for I think both the PS4 and the PS5 version, including the Xbox versions as well. And that's pretty good. Then I know I didn't play Elden Ring. I'm not a Souls fan. I don't like the Souls games. It's just I can't get into the gameplay. But everybody who done played that game for the most part stand by it, you know. And I think a lot of people would say that game was worth more than $60 to them. You know, it was worth 70. And honestly, I haven't really seen I think the cheapest I've seen Elden Rings had to be for like $45 randomly on like a random sale that one of the like Amazon was having or something, but that's about it. So here's some games that I'm mixed on right now. Now, RE4 Remake is a solid game. It did release at 60, but I asked myself, would have I got it for $70 as well? And I'm thinking to myself, I probably would have got it for 70. It's pretty honorable of Capcom to do it for 60, but would I have got it for 70? I think if I would have got it for 70 if it was only on current hardware. Because then I'm like, okay, most likely they spent all their dev time working on this version and it wasn't split in between, but it was on PS4 as well. And I played the PS4 version and just upgraded to the PS5 version for free. And it was pretty dope. I enjoyed it. You know, $70 worth. I would say this. I put about 100 hours into RE4 Remake, I believe. I got to put my time on her. I put a lot of hours into that game, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it. Yeah, for the most part, I would be if that would have came out to 70. I think it would have been worth 70 in my eyes. Let me know what y'all think about that. RE4 Remake 70 or not? So this is a series slash game I haven't played, but I know a lot of people stand by it, so I thought it should be cool to bring it up. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, this game is honestly one of the best games that people have played in a minute, right? I haven't played. I don't. The Zelda games doesn't appeal to me. Breath of the Wild, it just doesn't it slightly appeals to me, but even with that being, I still want be trying to play it, be willing to go play it because it's just not my type of game. But this is $70, and I'm like, a lot of people trying to figure out why is this $70. A lot of a lot of the studios that came up with this $70 price tag it's on newer gen hardware. You're getting better graphics. You're getting better frames per second. You're getting faster load times. You're getting ray tracing. You're getting better world building. You're getting better uses of the features in the controller and whatever. Are you getting that with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? Let me know, because this game came out on a system that released in 2017. This system actually is considered to be on the same. I believe the Switch is on the same level as an Xbox One and PS4 on the base Xbox One and PS4, right? around that time. It's on 2015 hardware, if I'm not mistaken. Like the chip is from 2015 that they using. But yeah, the game sold 10 million copies. Me personally, would I have paid 70 for it? I guess if I was into the series, but as a newcomer, no way. As a newcomer, if it came on the Switch 2 day one, I would have been willing to get it as like one of the first games to get the Switch on. I'm like, okay, I understand it's $70. But as a game that's retailing at 70 on old hardware, I don't know if I can stand by that. If I just list out all those reasons why they would price something at $70 from other studios. I'm like, I don't think a lot of people are lining that up with the justification of Zelda being 70, but hey, it is what it is. It sold 10 million copies. Me personally, I wouldn't buy it. So here's some games I thought would be cool, like also to mention that was on previous generations that's not wasn't $70 of course, but could have been worth 70, you know. RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that came out. I think a lot of people would probably say that game, if it was 70, a lot of people would not care. That's one of them games that came out. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight, I'm kind of conflicted on because at first it kind of was a free to play game, theoretically a free to play game for me since I came with my membership. But if I had to like literally buy that game again on PS5 for $70, I would have did it. Like they gave a free upgrade out, but they would have said no free upgrade. You gotta pay like $50 to $70 for Dead by Daylight day one. I would have probably dropped the money on that. I'm like, yeah, it's already something I know that I like. Cool. But I'm glad they did the free upgrade. I'm not complaining about that. Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is a game I think I started playing in a couple of months after the game came out, and I have consistently played it every year for the most part. It had been time where I dropped out of the Siege universe, but at the end of the day, you know that's a pretty solid game. You know that's kept my attention, my time for the most part tied to that game. So yeah, Modern Warfare Remaster 70 to the average consumer. No, to me, yes. Like I said, those Rainbow Six Siege, Dead by Daylight, and Modern Warfare Remastered are three games that's over 1,000 hours played on my system, on my account, and to me that game it's worth more than that because it's a game that multiplayer is just so good, man. It's just I can always just pick that shit up and play it like anytime I want and be like, "Yep, I still got it." It might be times I run into some people where I'm like, "Okay, what the fuck?" But for the most part, I still got it. Tony Hawk 1 and 2 Remastered. This game I think released at 40, maybe 50. I'm not sure. It released at 40 or 50. $70 game to the average person? No. No way. $60? Hell, it released at 50, but the amount of time and hours I put into it, if they would have came out like Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remaster or Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2 remaster, and they said it's coming out at 70, I'd be there day one. I love the Tony Hawk games. There's very minimal skateboarding games out at this point in time in this in the current generation and the previous generation. Really, the skateboarding games kind of ended. A lot of them being what they were kind of ended in the PS3/360 era. But when it came to the PS1, PS2, Xbox era, or PS3 360 era, it was fucking nuts. It was nuts. It was nuts. That's all I can say. It was pretty nuts because it was a lot of skateboarding games. And I'll pay a fucking premium just to get some more skateboarding games out there. So, but overall, I think at the end of the day, it's up to y'all. It's up to y'all opinion, like what y'all gonna enjoy. Like I said, there's some games out there that's worth 70. Hell, may even be worth more than 70 to some people, and they don't mind paying it. At the end of the day, ain't nobody forcing nobody to pay for anything. And yeah, just use your your knowledge or what you think is worth it in your perspective. And if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. If you do, then go right ahead. Yeah. Oh, here's the quick game I want to mention. Hopefully these studios are just, look at what they got and realize what's a reasonable price, because if you price your game too high, it can flop off the pricing. There's a game called The Order 1886 that came out back on the PS4 generation. That game was priced at a $60 price tag. And as much as I love that game should never been at $60. Should have been at $20, maybe $30 at most. But that was not a $60 game. There was some things they could have did to make it a $60 game, like adding a multiplayer or adding some type of arcade mode or extra mode that kind of similar to zombies. But what they had, that game was, I got it for like 20 or $10. The Order 1886. I'm like, damn, this is a pretty good game. Why everybody was hating? Like, oh, everybody was hating because a lot of them paid 60 for it and they felt like they got scammed. And I'm like, yeah, I don't blame y'all for thinking y'all got scammed. Like, I honestly do not blame you. That game should have never been priced that high. And so, honestly, my best thing is to look out for reviews. Look at what you think they're gonna be putting out. Look at the studio track record. Which, hell, even me personally, I think the studio track record don't mean shit after that Cyberpunk situation. Even kind of with the Jedi, with the respawn for the Jedi Fallen Order to Survivor, you was thinking you would get a quality game 100% day one. Nope, they didn't do it. They missed a couple of things, which is okay, but not okay to somebody who's spending 70 to get a premium product. So honestly, at the end of the day, use your personal opinion. My name is Delta Gamer, real man, real gamer. Thanks for watching.
Push in, bro. Fuck it. Let's go! Let's go! Let's do it! Let's go, bro. We got this shit, bro. I told you. You got one frag, you got the other. I just took your ace from your what? Yeah, I see you. Yes, we needed the castle. Yeah, we have. Yeah, because he gets to block off all those doors. But Ash got a nerve. Didn't Ash get a nerf or no? That the ADSs cancel out her ability.
Down to 10 seconds. Down to 5 seconds. Bomb location secure.
I mean, y'all know when y'all need heals. You're doing good, Dave, or no? He just tried spawn peeking and got fucked.
Reloading.
Already in where? He got me, dude. What?
Located a bomb.
Dave, we need you inside, bro.
Mission critical. Bomb diffuser activated. The operator remaining.
There's two down, bro.
Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Who, Dave? That was Dave. He can hear us. Okay. We don't need fuse actually. Just push to the bottom. Use opposite to hold a flank. Like Nomad.
Need to use your drone to locate a bomb.
We need a hard breacher for the back. They win garage?
Your drone has found a bomb.
That's fine. Dell. Run an operator that has a hard breach. Oh, okay.
Insertion in 10 seconds. 5 seconds to go. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
We don't, but we have a Twitch. We have diff. Okay.
Reloading. Cover me.
Starting shot drone!
Thank God he didn't die.
Activating thermal sequence. Drone activated.
Yeah, we're chilling.
You have dropped the diffuser.
Reload. Cluster charge deployed.
Left or right car?
Point cam ready. Cluster charge activated. Cluster charge live. Activating drone. Here we go.
Fuck, he got me. Hey, you're chilling, pushing, you're chilling. Just watch that door in front of you. On ping? Not that ping, the other ping. Oh shit! There's one right here. There's last one's right here. Last one's right here. Last one's right there on ping. Let's go! Let's go! We win those, bro. Y'all take care, guys.